Oh, how disgraceful. Mother just doesn't understand. I need to pick out my own clothes if I'm ever going to be accepted as a young, independent woman. I mean, all I wanted was to choose my own clothes. It wasn't like I was betraying Mother, and from the way she acted, she certainly made me feel like I had, but it wasn't my fault. I just wanted to be sophisticated, like Mother wanted me, not to dislike the dress and embarrass her publicly. No, that was not what I wanted at all. It was just that she took command of my life, and I felt like I was just being ordered around, forced into a brand new dress of such character and wealth, as Mother would describe it, just being a part in her unrealistic life. Other girls spent all their time with their mothers, while Jennifer Green spends all her time shopping with her mother, Judy. I spend mine with a maid. Then again, she has not been brought up in an elegant upper-class position. She is only middle class, and we have to be wary, you know. Middle-class women are starting to protest. Father says so. If we're not careful, me and Mother could become outcasts in the Women Protection Committee Mother works for. And if that happens, then Father will be angry that we're not contributing to his knighthood. Father dreams about his knighthood. Why, only today he was having his daily conversation with Gerald and telling him to bring his mother and father to an engagement where we will be hosting. I think it's more to do with Father's business, though, rather than me and Gerald. It's not that I dislike Father's business. It has taught me to be an elegant woman. But sometimes I just wish that people would focus on me a bit more. Mother's no different. She treats me and Eric like children. I tell her every day, we are not children, we are young adults. But she never notices because Eric always ruins it with his childish drinking. Not that Mother sees it, not that she chooses to see it. Eric is getting worse. Every day I remind him that upper-class people do not partake in this childish behaviour, wasting our lives like common person, except we have far more privileges than their kind. I'm worried as well for Eric. No one tells him to stop except me, and will he listen? No. He insists that Mother lets him, but I suppose that Mother just doesn't want to face the facts. She likes that. She will sit in her chair all day if she has to, gazing into space and forever correcting her perfect posture. I'm learning at the minute, learning the etiquette behaviour that upper-class women must learn to be accepted in society. I quite like it, you know. Gerald likes it as well because he's used to seeing people like that, all perfect and graceful, unlike those lower-class people who slouch and slump. Disgusting, I must say. Anyway, the day began when I told Mother I would quite like a dress from Millward's, and so we rode down there, and Mother brought out the same dress she shows me every time. It's truly beautiful, but I didn't want the one Mother selected for me. I had seen a particular dress with an elegant trimming and loopy arms like an angel. It was on a model one time, and she looked wonderfully stunning, with soft white face and a healthy weight, a true upper-class girl, with such expense and a lovely curvy figure. The other women behind her in the advert, lower-class women, of course, in their dirty, ragged clothing. I'm sure no one wanted to be one of those women. Mother had brought her dress out with enthusiasm, which made it look even less like the thing I wanted. I wanted a loopy dress, not a tight one. I wanted a white dress, but Mother had picked a purple one that covered the neck. I felt so ashamed. I did not want Mother's choice, and I knew it was lovely in comparison to the dress I wanted, but it was the fact that she assumed I wanted it because she picked it. Why should I just let her pick my clothes? I was a woman, I could do it myself, without Mother. Don't you adore it, Sheila? I remember her saying, thinking that it was nothing like the one I wanted. The dress was for the Father's knighthood, of course, and the one Mother had picked looked very wondrous for that type of outing. It matched with Mother's as well, which was probably why she liked it. Anyway, I knew what I wanted, and I immediately demanded to see the one I liked, and told Mother to put hers back in the shop. A poor little servant girl came to my aid, of course lower class, but she looked as if she had been dropped from the middle. Hardly a drop, I must say, but a drop nonetheless. So many of these girls are nowadays. Girls in that background just don't have the manners anymore. I told her to hurry up and select my dress, slacking, of course. If it were down to me, these people would get a good telling off, maybe even fired, and that would sort them out, make them decent. As she scuttled off, Mother thought that she could persuade me to have the other dress. Mother does get annoying like that, and continues to pester me about things. I always win, of course, but she pushes Eric around like he's her own horse cart. I do try to stand up for Eric, but then the maid Pamela, of course her name isn't actually Pamela, but women who are born into poverty shouldn't earn the equality that upper-class women have, and that includes their name, whisks me off to shop, of course. I enjoy shopping, but I feel quite guilty when I leave Eric with Mother, but I suppose he makes up for it when he drinks too much, and I, of all people, have to look after him. The girl shuffled back in a shy little dormouse with a dress over herself. It looked wonderful, but Mother and I wouldn't admit that, of course. She had no money. After all, her little rosy cheeks complimented the red truffles. It looked glorious, and I felt horrible that such a dress would match such a poor character. I seized it from her and hung it over myself. I knew I was acting like a jealous, small, poorer person, but I had to prove that I was better suited to such a dress. I feel awful now for feeling in such a way, but it was just not right that she could scuttle in all modest and secretly brag it in my face. Mother didn't seem to notice. Her face was just painted with the usual slight smile, as if she was warning me. How dare she tell me how to dress and where to do it, say nothing at this girl's obvious big-headedness. It was just my luck that some girl had boasted her dress. Only yesterday Samantha Wickett had told me I looked like a toad. Just my luck. This was just a repeat of yesterday, and I was not going to let a servant call me a toad, so I rightfully flung on the dress and examined myself in the mirror. Just my luck, it didn't suit me at all. I feel so angry even now that Mother was right. I should have stuck with her choice, and that ugly woman couldn't have made me feel like a piece of rubbish. I was furious nevertheless, and my face began to turn quite the shade of red. Yet, do you know what the impervious girl did? She giggled. I felt so outraged that she dared giggle at me, just to clarify that I looked unsuited for such a dress, probably to make me look like a fool in front of Mother, just so she would be seen as beautiful. I shouted at Millwards to fire the girl or to close our account because that rowdy girl merely showing off to her friends. Of course, Millwards will do what I say because Mother is their most valued customer. I'll show that Eva Smith, who is the well-educated one. I will see to it that she's not fired by Monday. I will close our account and let the girl live on the streets if she has to. Disgraceful!